All right, we've got two people, two ladies, looks like, standing here at the edge of one of the rows. Got a guy, looks like he's here doing some inventory or something. And you got a lift truck here lifting up a load that's going to be suspended. It looks like it's going rather high, too. So what I'm looking at here, first thing I'm concerned about, okay, there's a ladder here. Anyway. First thing I'm concerned about is how high are we going here? And if this load were to immediately fall, what's the radius? What's the fall radius? Usually you want to look at fall radius and then add a little bit more onto that. So fall radius of this right now, probably about right here. So they would already be in danger, especially if this fell off, it could hit them. But if it goes any higher, the actual whatever this is or the lift truck could hit them. So I'm already cautious about this. I would not be standing around here. What I would have wanted to do or wanted to see is if this driver either honked their horn or yelled out, "Hey, I'm putting this load up here." These ladies need to be aware of what they're doing and probably move out of the way. I don't know. This could go completely differently, but this is just my initial thought. All right, another thing is we're putting a load up here. You see this person walking out from behind here? This looks like it's just strictly a warehouse, so I'm sure things are a little bit less strict than a consumer, like an area where you have customers walking around. But still, I would be cautious. You have suspended load here, and then you have an individual walking out from under here. There's just a lot of people around here that look like they're unaware. It looks like they're aware, or she's aware. That's good. There we go. Reaction. Look at her reaction. It just started falling. She took maybe a half step. That's all she took. And maybe that's all she needed to take. But that doesn't even look good. Look at this guy. He is completely oblivious to what's happening. Albeit I'd say he's probably about far away enough, but still, like if there were chemicals in here and that splattered everywhere, he could get hurt. She doesn't look like she is even looking at this. I don't know if she realizes. Okay, so she knows that guy just now saw it. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so that's what I called beforehand. Look at where they were standing before and look at where this pallet fell. That's a good reason why you don't want to be just standing around when people are working around you with suspended loads. These ladies should probably have been standing a little bit further away. One way or another, that pallet could have seriously injured or killed them. And obviously, we don't want that. That guy, delayed reaction, but thankfully he was far away enough. Thankfully, these ladies got away. And it doesn't look like anyone else was nearby.
Go hold it, dog. Go put your hand on there.
Put your hand on there? Bro was trying to kill him. Did bro have a life insurance policy out on him? I don't know what's out in them boxes. It doesn't look like it's that heavy, but that's not what you do. Whoa, all right. This is still, there's a little bit of space there. It looks like he probably backed up, but immediately I see that guy that was down there, he was about to walk under suspended load, and that guy was about to back out over him. Okay, I'm not comfortable with that. Especially considering how unstable those other boxes were, leads me to believe that these boxes could also be unstable. And he's just carrying it back, kind of a little suspended. I would have liked him to bring that load down a little bit earlier. This is not, no, oh no. This is not going to end well. All right, first of all, you don't want to be standing on forks like that. It's just unacceptable. Looks like you've got maybe 5-6 foot drop. So you are probably going to be wearing fall protection if you're that high. Maybe you might get away with it. I know you can kind of get up on the truck without it, but still, those are not made to stand on. Truth be told, that material in that truck is loaded way too tight, and that truck really should be rejected, in my opinion. Either that or you should hand unload some to get it off, and then you can get the lift truck or the forklift to get it out of there. Whatever they have rigged up here is just, no, you just don't do that. You could probably get away with it. There's probably a way to do it a little safer, but the way they're doing it right now is just, this is not what you do. And we're still on the forks. All right, we got a pinch point right here. Look at this. I mean, I know it's kind of up a little bit, but the back of that fork kind of cage or whatever, the panel, the body, and then you've got the handle. I mean, that's a pinch point right there. What are they unloading? Are they unloading bricks of cocaine or something? Okay. What? No. Whoa. Holy. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Ooh. What was that? You have possibly just caused this guy to be disabled for the rest of his life. Or at least have some sort of disability now. I don't know what this guy just did, but it looks like he just... I don't know what that was. That was just unacceptable horseplay behavior. Immediately. You're getting fired. No, there's no excuse for that. Looks like we got a spotter. All right. You don't move with forks that high, even if it's an empty load. The base of that and the center of gravity of those lift trucks is designed like really they a lot of them have limiters on them that won't even let you go that fast. Look how fast he's going with the forks all the way up. He can probably hit like a beam. Oh, yep, he hit something. Okay, well, that's just stupidity. All right, coming down with a load. Coming down from real high with a load. Ooh, and you're probably moving around too much. All right, so in this situation, looks like you ended up being okay, but notice how that cage on top of him caught a lot of that material. That's what it's designed to do. Now, some of it still got through, but that's why you're supposed to wear a hard hat. I don't even know if he was wearing a hard hat, but if you wore a hard hat and stayed in a seat, probably would have been fine still. Like, I know some of that stuff got through, but it probably slowed down from the cage, and if you wore a hard hat, probably would have been fine. But he's out here, might have even gotten hit by this big pallet. You're not getting hit by that pallet, at least not in the same way in that cage as you are out here. Looks like it was caused by moving around too much when the load was way too high. Probably could have sat for another couple seconds, let the load come down a little bit more before moving. I know production's an important thing, in these warehouses and moving stuff, but you can't have production when you're dead or when you've got a mess everywhere all the time. Oh, it looks like there's also liquid coming out. So that was another thing. Maybe this guy knew that there was a lot of liquid in there. He didn't want to still stay in there while the liquid got burst out everywhere, but it doesn't look like he fared any better when it was on the ground. I don't know what liquid it is. Could be acid, I don't know. But that does not look like a good day. It looks like he's soaked. All right. Oh my gosh, pinch point. I can already see it creeping forward. So this is like one of the biggest things other than falls. I mean, pinch points, be aware when you're working around equipment, pinch points are incredibly important to be aware of because they are very deadly. Looks like this guy might have tried to park the forklift and it's already starting to roll forward. Let's just see what happens. Ooh. Don't make it worse. Ooh. Okay. Looks like didn't get seriously injured, but could still have serious injuries. I don't know. I have no idea. That could be broken bones right now. Looks like he's fine because there's a really slow pinch point, but that's on both of them. First of all, that operator had plenty of vision that could have seen that guy in front of him. Second of all, that guy should not have been putting himself in that situation. Why would you put yourself in a pinch point like that? Guy probably needs to go home for the day, go get checked out. I mean, that's the reality of construction. You just go back to work. Truth be told, though, I don't know how bad he got pinched, but it wouldn't hurt to go get it checked out by a doctor because if you did end up actually getting hurt, right, and you go straight to work after this, like this, just go right back to work. If you try to file a workers' comp claim or try to sue someone, they'll look at this video right here and say, oh, look, you're not hurt. You went straight back to work. Which that can still be argued, and say, well, he might have had adrenaline going or whatever, didn't really start hurting until later. But this doesn't help your case. So it's whenever you get in an accident like that, it's best to just go get checked out. Okay, that compilation was dog doo-doo. Like there was almost no construction. Let me try to find construction. All right, here we've got a video, suspended load. This looks like it's either in India or Pakistan. rigging, I don't know about that rigging, but we've got guys up on a roof with no fall protection, no nothing. I know that's how it's done here. Looks like we've got some metal on bare glass, so we'll see how that ends up. We've got no tag lines or tag poles, nothing. Maybe that is a tag line attached to it that they just have to get. Ooh. All right, so that right there, safety glasses, helmet, gloves, exactly prime reason why you wear those. Those could help protect you from some of those shards. And then additionally, the rigging wasn't correct. And then obviously those guys are up there just without any fault protection or anything. I know that's how residential works anywhere across the globe, but it's not the best. Even the guys down below should have some, hard hats, safety vests, gloves, and glasses on to help protect against this glass. All right, we've got a demo project here. Looks like they're deciding to push it over. I'm hoping they actually measure it out, because that looks awfully close to those power lines. Look, that's one way to do it, but my recommendation is to get the hell out of there before the power company comes. Looks like you hit a water main, and a pretty big one at that. So, unfortunately, I've worked in underground construction, utility construction like this, and if something like this were to happen, having a big excavator on site is one of the best things, because you can just cover it. You could deflect it, that's what I'm trying to say, so that this water wouldn't be spraying everywhere. This water right now, you might get away with it, but it's probably going to end up costing hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars worth of damage to those buildings, especially if it's not covered up within the next couple seconds. Because if one of those windows bursts, it's over. Even if the windows don't burst, that brick, that everything around the windows themselves, even the roof of the building, everything is not meant to handle that much direct water, and it'll seep into the building and cause issues for years and years to come, even if not immediate issues. So I don't know how things are in London, but you are supposed to, check before you dig. That being said, not every single water line is marked, so stuff like this can happen. I don't know what the story is here. I'm guessing, it looks like actually they have a backhoe. So they don't even have looks like they don't even have an excavator out there right now, but they have a backhoe. It looks like they were hammer drilling. So it looks like they were using a hammer drill attachment, probably to bust through some rock or something. Might have slipped and hit the pipe. So they probably have a hole, like a good sized hole, maybe about that big, in the pipe, probably pointing straight up. So that's probably what that is. Still wouldn't hurt to see if you could get that attachment or part of that machinery directly over that water to help divert it. Even if you could divert just like half of it, it would still greatly impact, and it'd probably save your company in insurance costs like hundreds of thousands. All right, what in the heck is Billy Bob and Joe Smith doing out here? We've got some janky, we've got a lift on the back of a truck. I don't know, this does not look like the right way to do things. We're using a ladder as like a working platform. I don't know what that, it looks like they might have scaffolding over there. We're trying to walk the ladder. Yeah, let's walk the fucking ladder. Yeah, let's walk the ladder with a roof above us. What are we doing? Yeah, we are losing it. Looks like no one was seriously injured there, but guys, there's got to be a better way. Those coils can be really dangerous. The springs on those, yeah. Well, looks like they got away without getting hit, but looks like the danger there was really all the dust, the silicosis. Not to mention, with all that metal spinning around, there could have been even a chance of a spark igniting some of that dust. Believe it or not, any type of fine dust can ignite and combust. That's what I'm trying to say, can combust. So a spark from all that metal flying around, or if it hit something and produced a spark, it could have ignited all that dust. It had a really strong, really bright, really hot flashover. Now, they might have been fine, but it's not something you want to deal with. Not to mention inhaling the dust. If you held your breath, you'd probably be fine, but you don't want silicosis. That's not something you want to deal with. Looks like we got one of the, I don't know if that's a vacuum suction or what that is, but it's some sort of a suction cup. I don't really know much about window pane installation, on high floors. Looks like this is probably how they were supposed to do it, but obviously something's about to go on. Wow. Okay. So it looks like the suction didn't fail, but the window itself failed somehow. All right. So it looks like we were all wearing gloves. But what I don't like is the guys in front, no eye protection. And honestly, it wouldn't have even hurt it to have a face shield. They should have had a helmet. They should have had eye protection at minimum and gloves. And again, it probably wouldn't have hurt to have a face shield on. Ooh. Alright, so whenever you're doing demo like this, you do want to clear the area. Probably would have wanted to have at least a lane or two cleared off. Either that or just had a better demo plan, because obviously this was not thought through correctly. And yeah, it's just poor planning. Hopefully no one was in that car. Looks like we've got some sort of electrical arc. Anyone standing nearby, you want to get away from that. You want to get away from that, block it off. Yeah. Yeah. So with electricity like this, I don't know if they had hit something. It looks like maybe they hit something with the excavator. Immediately, you want to stop. If you're on the ground, you want to either bunny hop away or shuffle your feet away. If you're in the excavator and you're safe, from the most recent thing I've heard, the most recent recommendation is stay where you're at. Stay where you're at and wait until the situation gets resolved. If your excavator's steaming and that's starting to catch fire, then you want to jump out the excavator, land with 2 feet right next to each other, and bunny hop or shuffle away with your feet together. That's the main thing. If you're going to bunny hop, if you're going to shuffle on the ground. Don't let your feet leave the ground. Also, I see where they have a little barricades here, but the barricades are way too close to the hole. They should have, I know this isn't, I don't know what the situation here, it doesn't look like they probably have OSHA here either, but the barricades are damn near in the hole. And then there's maybe some caution tape going by, but that's not going to help much. You need that to be offset a few feet at least. All right, so first of all, this guy up here filming with his hand in his pocket, this guy up here, everyone really, first of all, look at this massive hole. Let's just ignore the elephant in the room. Look at this massive hole, right? You got this massive excavation or whatever it is. Maybe it looks like it's been finished, so it looks like some sort of a big basement or something. This guy looks like he's about 3 feet off the edge. Should not have access. This barricade, way too close. This needs to be back another 3 or 4 feet minimum, if not more. This guy is too close. He can be here, but you need to be tied off to something. I don't know if that thing right there is something you can tie off to, but you'd want to be tied off to something that can support your weight. This guy needs to be back. This guy needs to be back. And then this, it looks like it's part of a bigger construction site here. I don't know what their whole deal is here, but this, I don't like the way we've got people just standing up here, way too close. And then obviously we're lowering a front, like a front loader backhoe, whatever you call them. I don't remember what you call these anymore. Oh my gosh. That was honestly unexpected. That's not even what I was looking at. But basing off of this right here, whoa, okay, let's look at this. This right here looks like the ground is not very stable. Looks like it's way too close to the open edge. Maybe that shifted a little bit. I don't really know. I don't see the whole big picture, but you got too many people standing around here, and obviously that's not ideal. So just looking at this looks like it was in Russia. If you look at the flag up here, most likely. You got people working down here. Looks like they might be far away enough, but I wonder who else was down here. Because if there are people down here, they're probably dead. Probably need a bigger crane for this, if I'm being honest. This crane is probably too small. Probably try to just get away with it. That's not something you want to get away with. Now, this crane operator, I don't know where he was. Probably down here somewhere. Could be dead. Hopefully not. All right. This is unnecessary. Why do we have someone this close in a little skid steer under this massive silo with this much that's already been knocked out? Just don't do that. It's completely unnecessary. You're risking human life. There are better ways. All right, before we go, this guy almost ran over this guy back here. Let's go back and look at it. All right, look right here. Look where this guy is and look how fast that guy's trying to back up. Almost ran him over. Oh, shit. There goes half the house. Okay, so in this one, this looks like somewhere in Europe or something, like Eastern Europe. These three guys sitting around immediately, and even there's a fourth guy right to the right there that's sitting right next to him. They should all be spotting. Looks like they're spotters. You know, some laborers there with a shovel, probably looking for underground utilities. They should be using a probing rod as well, probably checking for things underground because you could hit anything. Oh, shit. Zero PPE. Zero PPE. And you're holding up a glass plane? What are you doing? I think that's less of a fail and more of a guy that's pissed off. Just going on a rampage. That's not an accident. That's on purpose. Yeah, so if you don't know, these prefabricated trusses, the way that you're usually unloaded is they just kind of slide off the back of the truck and they're just kind of put down in one spot. But it looks like this operator or driver or whatever was trying to do that here, but it looks like he's on the side of a really big hill or like a mountain almost, and half of them look like they slid all the way down the mountain. Probably not all the way down, but a considerable distance around. So I can just imagine them getting a phone call like, hey, where's the delivery? I thought it was supposed to be here like a couple hours ago. Looks like only half of it's here. It's like, oh yeah, the other half is somewhere at the bottom of the mountain. Good luck. You can still hear it falling. All right, guys, I'm going to end this video here. Honestly, it wasn't even that good. Like, there weren't that many good things that happened. Most of it was all industrial, equipment related, or like just warehouse related. I didn't see a lot of really like construction site issues. Maybe I'll try to get a better video next time. And I hope I actually gave a little bit of insight and wasn't really annoying. But if you guys enjoyed this video or if you guys learned something for construction, leave it down in the comments below. Tell me what you thought about this video. Again, I'm someone who is experienced a good amount with construction safety, so I know more or less what I'm talking about, but I could have gotten something wrong. So if I did, please let me know. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.